Hello, my name is Brad Cardoso, and I'm a Vice President and Director of Design and Construction with HOBBS Real Estate. HOBBS Real Estate has been working on a plan to redevelop a portion of our life science campus at 95 and 99 Hayden Avenue, also known as 128 Spring Street. And we are seeking town meeting approval of our preliminary site development and use plan, PSDUP, which will enable this redevelopment. The Planning Board unanimously voted to recommend our PSDUP to town meeting, and now we are seeking your approval on Article 38 to create Planned Development District, PD6. We have assembled a first-class project team with significant experience in the greater Lexington area to craft our redevelopment plan. This team consists of Margulies Pruzzi for architecture, Environmental Partners for civil engineering, MDM Transportation Consultations for transportation, engineering, and planning, Goulston and Stores for legal. HOBBS BROOK is a real estate investor, developer, and operator. We're a wholly owned subsidiary of FM Global, a leading commercial property insurance company based in Rhode Island. We have significant experience in developing and operating real estate in the greater Lexington area. HOBBS BROOK was a pioneer developer of business parks on Route 128 dating back to 1952. HOBBS BROOK has a significant portfolio in the area of over 5 million square feet of commercial real estate. HOBBS BROOK is a long-term investor and operator, designing resilient, sustainable buildings to withstand the test of time. As mentioned, we are a long-term holder, and we want to design buildings that will last 75 years or more, because we will still own those buildings come 75 years. The picture below is of our new LEED Gold certified flagship building at 225 Wyman Street, Waltham, Mass. In creating and managing sustainable environments like 225 Wyman, we design and build according to LEED standards and seek to include solar energy systems. To date, our solar energy systems have generated over 20 million kilowatt hours. Here, the Ledgemont Technology Center, outlined in yellow, is our site at 95 and 99 Hayden. It consists of 36 acres at the corner of Spring Street and Hayden, just off of Route 2. This location is now in the heart of Hayden Avenue Life Science Corridor, with numerous world-class life science companies in neighboring buildings, including Takeda Pharmaceuticals, Conixa Pharmaceuticals, and Kaleido Biosciences. This location provides an exceptional opportunity. By reinvesting in the property, we can reposition the campus to be the premier life science campus in the thriving Hayden Avenue Life Science Corridor. Zooming in a bit from site context map, we can see the existing 95 and 99 Hayden Life Science campus. Moving from left to right, we have 5 existing buildings, buildings A, B, C, D, and the 99 garage on the 99 Hayden Avenue site. Then we have 95 and 95 garage on the 95 Hayden Avenue site. Development for this campus began in the 1960s as Ledgemont Labs, a leading research laboratory that attracted scientists from all over the world to this location in Lexington. The campus is now deserving of further investment. Here we have photos of some of the existing buildings which were developed between 1962 and 1970. The photos on the left-hand side show some of the significant ledge and topography on the site, which is a defining feature of the site and greatly influences its development potential. This aerial shows the garage and the building at 95 Hayden Avenue, which will remain through the proposed redevelopment. On the building and garage, we installed a 1 megawatt photovoltaic solar array in 2014, one of the largest in Lexington. This is a key feature of our sustainability efforts on campus, with the proposed redevelopment enabling us to double down on sustainability efforts on the campus. I'll discuss these efforts more later on, but this includes designing the planned new buildings to LEED Gold standards and investing in hybrid HVAC systems within the buildings. Now that you're oriented to the existing conditions and site, let's talk about the proposed redevelopment and what we aim to do. Our project goals include repositioning the campus to be a leading life science campus in the Hayden Avenue Life Science Corridor by redeveloping significant new Class A lab space. Limiting development impacts. We aim to do this first and foremost by limiting the redevelopment to the southwesterly corner of the site. If you look at the existing conditions plan on the screen, the redevelopment is concentrated in the white portion of the lower left-hand corner of the plan. In so concentrating development, we hope to further limit impacts by replacing and renovating existing buildings as appropriate. Finally, we aim to minimize impacts to extensive areas of vegetation and natural rock outcrops on the site, with design incorporating existing ledge and tucking much of the new parking under buildings rather than creating large paved parking lots. To make these project goals happen, we have crafted a phased redevelopment plan. In phase 1 of the redevelopment, we plan to construct new building 1, which is represented by the orange building, and is a new 4-story lab building with parking underneath it. This will add approximately 80,000 square feet of office lab space and about 150 new parking spaces. The second phase consists of raising 2 existing buildings, buildings A and B, and constructing new building 2 in their place, represented by the orange building added just south of building 1. This includes parking underneath it. Additionally, existing buildings C and D will be extensively renovated and expanded to create building 3, represented by the purple building just next to building 2. This will add approximately 150,000 square feet of office lab space and approximately 230 parking spaces. The third and final phase consists of building a connector building attached to new buildings 1 and 2 and renovated building 3. Additionally, this phase contemplates an addition adjacent to the existing parking garage. This will add approximately 85,000 square feet of office lab space and approximately 110 parking spaces. At full build out of the redevelopment, there will be 2 new 4-story office lab buildings, buildings 1 and 2 represented by the orange rectangles in the southwesterly portion of the site. 1 extensively renovated and expanded building, building 3, represented by the purple building just to the east of building 2. A connector building in the middle of the buildings 1, 2, and 3. An addition adjacent to the existing parking garage and some associated surface parking. When all is said and done, this campus will be repositioned as a leading life science campus with approximately 743,000 square feet of office lab building space and 1,608 parking spaces. To give you a sense of the massing of the new buildings, we have elevations of buildings 1 and 2 from different perspectives. The elevation in the top left corner shows buildings 1 and 2 from Spring Street. As you can see, the topography changes significantly with a significant drop off beneath building 2. The elevation in the top left corner shows building 1 from the courtyard. The mechanical penthouses are fully enclosed and screen the building mechanicals while reducing noise, exceeding the town's noise bylaw requirements. The elevation in the bottom left-hand corner shows building 2 from Hayden Avenue. This elevation reflects how dramatic the topography change can be on the site. The elevation in the bottom right corner shows building 2 from the courtyard. Now that you have a sense of the massing of the buildings, we'll go on a virtual drive moving north to south to see what buildings will look like from various viewpoints. The site plan here shows the viewpoints of the following 5 renderings. We'll start at the bottom of the plan and make our way up. Here's our first and most southerly viewpoint. This view is from Route 2. On the left of the screen is an existing neighboring building, currently housing Takeda Pharmaceuticals. On the right side of the screen is proposed building 2. As you can see here, our proposed building is comparable to neighboring buildings, with the difference in visibility largely attributed to the varying topography of our site. Moving a little north from our first viewpoint, we're on Spring Street, nearing the intersection of Spring Street and Hayden Avenue. Again, on the left side of the screen, you can see a neighboring building at 200 Shire Way. On the other side of the intersection is our proposed building 2. Our proposed building visible here replaces an existing 1960s era building with a state-of-the-art life science building, fit to be a gateway building to the Hayden Avenue Life Science Corridor. Continuing north on our virtual drive, here is the view of Building 2 from Hayden Avenue. We've moved north from Hayden Avenue to the courtyard, viewing Building 1 from within the courtyard. As mentioned earlier, the first phase of the redevelopment will be constructing this new Building 1. Building 1, as you see here, will be characteristic of the new renovated buildings, with large floor plates and taller floor-to-floor heights suited for life science buildings. Additionally, these buildings will be designed according to current legal design standards with highly efficient building envelopes. Now we're at the final, most northerly viewpoint looking south to the site from Shade Street. As seen here, the new buildings will be largely obscured by the heavily wooded northerly section of our site, which will be maintained as a buffer. Within the project area, we've developed a robust landscape design plan, as shown here, to plant a significant number of trees. As hinted at, this site is unique, with significant topography and ledge. A portion of the site is already under a conservation restriction, with planned expansions to the conservation restriction and trail easements expected to have nearly 11 acres of the 36-acre site under a conservation restriction or easement. The reddish-pink portion of the plan reflects the conservation restriction, and the square outline in the top left corner marks an area of the site where a trail expansion to connect the existing trails to the walking path on Spring Street is contemplated. Zooming in for a closer look at the area of the proposed trail expansion, we have this access and pedestrian improvements plan focused on planned improvements to the northwest portion of the site. We plan to expand public access by a trail connection to Hayden Woods with new public access and parking. Here, the red line represents the contemplated trail expansion connecting existing trails leading to Hayden Woods down to the internal site driveway. From the internal drive, the plan is to create a crosswalk with a rapid flashing beacon to connect over to the walking path that runs on the western side of Spring Street. Additionally, this plan reflects trailhead parking spots, which will be provided for public enjoyment to Hayden Woods. HOBBS BROOK prioritizes designing sustainable buildings. For this redevelopment, the building has benefited from input of the Sustainable Lexington Committee. As mentioned earlier, we already have installed a 1 megawatt solar canopy on this site. To build on that, we're designing these buildings to meet legal standards with highly efficient building envelopes. With these highly efficient buildings, we'll be able to use all hybrid HVAC systems on site. Beyond these efforts, we're planning to have many additional measures geared towards sustainability, including a transportation demand management plan and amenities geared towards encouraging alternative modes of travel, electric vehicle charging stations, improved stormwater and drainage management and infrastructure, and water use reduction strategies. This development will reposition an existing life science campus to be a leader in the Hayden Avenue Life Science Corridor. In doing so, there will be numerous public benefits. Financially, once completed, this redevelopment will result in $3.7 million of net new revenue annually to the town, representing a considerable increase in stable tax revenue to help lessen tax pressures on Lexington residents. Environmentally, this poses an opportunity to replace inefficient buildings with new buildings designed in accordance with legal standards, which are aligned with Lexington's efforts to shift away from fossil fuels and towards hybrid HVAC systems. Beyond that, this includes significant recreational enhancements with a new trail connection and public access to Hayden Woods. Starting with Ledgemont Labs in the 1960s, this site has been a leader for scientific innovation in Lexington. Recognizing this past and the site's location in the heart of Lexington's life science corridor, this proposed reinvestment will reposition the site into the leading life science campus once again. Thank you for your time and consideration.